Hi WMC choirs. I thought I'd answer some questions that you might have about how things are going to work moving forward. Here's the first one. How are we supposed to do grades, assignments, assessments for a class that doesn't run like a typical class does? I'm going to put all the information that you need every single day on a Google form. And on particular days, there will be certain things you need to fill out on that form and submit. On certain days, you will have Google assignments to record yourself doing certain things and submitting them to me. And I will make that very, very clear exactly what you need to do. I'm not going to go overboard. I'm going to try to run it as close to a regular rehearsal and have as many familiar elements to you as I possibly can while not actually having you here with me. So that's kind of a vague answer. I'm going to make a separate video to address exactly what the expectations are and exactly what the schedule will be like on a day-to-day basis. Next question. So we just missed festival, which you worked so hard for. State S&E is coming up, and a lot of you qualified for that. What's going on with those things? We found out yesterday that MSVMA has canceled everything for the remainder of the year. And I hate that. And I'm really, really sorry about it, and it stinks. Actually, I have maybe stronger words than that, which I will not use here today, but I bet you can imagine what I'm thinking. Anyway, the only thing that is a possibility is if you qualified for state S&E, they said that there's a possibility that you might be able to record your pieces and have them judged remotely. So they would do like an online assessment. They would use the same rubric. You could get a certificate. It would be like you were getting scored for state S&E, which would be awesome. I don't know any more about that. They were just throwing that idea out there. For festival stuff, you know, I do have our recordings that we made, you know, last minute there on the last day that we were together. And if they open up a way for that to be assessed, then I will put it together and send it to them, and I'll let you know how we did. I don't know that they're going to be able to do that, but I will certainly keep you in the loop. But as for live events that are taking place, those are all canceled for the rest of the year. So what about our concerts? I don't know. That's my best answer. I'm preparing myself for 3 possible outcomes, and I think this is the most realistic way to think about it. Outcome 1 would be we go just 4 weeks and things are looking much better and everybody says, okay, we're ready to go, and that takes us right to the day of the Pops concert. And I don't think we can have a concert on the scheduled day without like meeting together ahead of that. That said, we can reschedule it, we can put it in a different place, and I can do my best to get you ready for it. Along with our end of the year concert, same thing. I'll get you ready for it the best that I can. It'll probably be shorter. It probably won't have as many pieces in it as it would, but I'm going to do my best to get us ready. If I'm being really honest with you, and I think we're going to be back to school in 4 weeks. You heard it here. The reason I say that is because the CDC has suggested strongly that people not meet in groups of larger than 50 people for the next 8 weeks. I'm sure you heard that. And obviously, school is a congregation of larger than 50 people, and I don't know that schools count, but the way things are heading, I can't see it. So that would take us into May. I don't know what happens then. Maybe we have some sort of a big end of the year concert that's sort of a hybrid Pops plus end of the year stuff. I have no idea, but I'm totally open to whatever we can put together. Everybody's going to understand that this is not the typical situation, and I'm okay with that. I think there's a better chance that's going to be what happens. However, there's the third possibility, and that is that we don't come back. And that's really hard because you guys have worked really hard all year, and I think it's just gonna be really weird not to be together. That said, I have all sorts of interesting ideas about how we could either record things separately and patch them together into a really cool concert. If you've ever heard of Eric Whitaker's virtual choir, I'm going to link to it a little bit later this week. That's something we could potentially do. It's not as good as a real live performance, but it's something. I also think if things look like they're going to blow over in the summer, I could never require this, but I'd love to invite back the people who want to do some sort of a performance just to give us some completion to things, because otherwise it's just really hard to work on these pieces and ramp up to this big conclusion and then not be able to have it. So I am open to all of those things. Okay, finally, I mentioned to you that chamber auditions were going to need to happen earlier this year, and I anticipate that that's still true because next year is going to happen. I hope. You know, so I'm going to try as soon as possible to put together an online packet of materials, including some instructions from me and just some sight reading stuff. And my guess is that all the auditions will most likely be online. And I think it's possible that some of it you could pre-record for me. And then some of it maybe we would need to do via like Skype or a Google Hangout. I'll have to find what I think is the best mode for doing that. But I think you should anticipate at this point that all chamber choir auditions are going to be online. I'm sure you have more questions than this for me, and I might have answers, I might not, but please send me an email, contact me with any other questions you have. Maybe I'll end up doing like a part 2 of this video, but for now, hopefully that answered some of the questions that you had.